So I don't know about you, Alex, but I don't remember ever saying, I want to be a mortgage person. Like, I don't know, does that even exist? Does anybody ever like on career day say, yeah, I want to go sit at a desk for hours and study guidelines? You know, like
that sounds fun.
Right? That doesn't sound fun at all. So what I want to do today is just share a little bit about our backstories. Why have I been doing this for 16 years? Why have you been doing this for so many years? And what comes to mind is what I saw back in the days. I was working at a grocery store and I was bagging groceries all through high school. Mm-hmm. And then I wanted to, improve my situation. So I went over to work at a bank and I was a bank teller. And from there, I was introduced to the mortgage side. I didn't even know how to spell mortgage, but I met somebody that I joined their team as an assistant and started learning about the mortgage industry. And this person did a good job, but during that same time, we were in this like crazy industry where there was a lot of stupid financing, like irrational decisions. There was like interest-only loans and variable rates and negative amortization loans. And I remember just seeing people, like everybody buy houses. And they were buying like big houses, like $500,000 homes, $600,000 homes, but their payments made no sense. Like, how can you buy a $500,000 home and only pay $1,500 a month? Like, that made no rational sense. Like, when you do the math, if you're actually paying your home off, you should be paying more because $500,000 is a big amount, right?
Yeah.
And then the worst thing ever happened, which is we saw people lose their homes, like millions and millions of people. And what we were witnessing is just a lot of irrational decisions being made. And at the same time, not a good job on the lending side. Like, people were getting into financing that they didn't understand. And I saw many family members and friends get into financing they didn't understand, not provided by me, just saying, and then lose on everything. Like, they bought 2-3 homes and then they lost them all. What was the point, right?
Yeah.
And when I saw that happening, I was thinking, God, this is terrible. There's gotta be a better way to do this. Like, if you're gonna be a homeowner, well, let's get the home and pay it off. That kind of makes logical sense to me, right? And me seeing all these people lose out terribly is what motivated me to get into this industry, to prove that, hey, you can do things the right way and you can build a clientele and you can build a brand worthy of trust and not rip people off. Like, be honest, right? And show them how to do things the right way so they can have their outcome of buying a home and eventually paying it off, which I think should be all of our goals, right? Like, why not? Yeah. So that's what really motivated me, is I think there was a lot of irresponsibility on the lending side, and a lot of people were just doing it for their benefit, not really the consumer's benefit, And then of course Dodd-Frank came in and changed everything, but that's what got my attention in the mortgage industry, is to try to do it better than the people that were doing it before me. Does that make sense?
Right. And obviously it's been, you've built that brand around honesty and all that stuff, which is,
it's important, man.
Yeah.
It's like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, it's a big deal. It's not a pair of shoes that we're buying. We want to make sure that you understand what you're getting into, right? So then what about you, Alex? Like, what appealed? Like, did you wake up one day and say, oh, I want to be a realtor? Like, did that happen to you?
Not at all. By the way, thanks for sharing that. I didn't know that about you, but thanks, man. Yeah. No, I didn't. I actually never saw myself in sales at all, because to the public eye, I mean, salespeople just have a bad reputation, let's be honest, for the reasons that you mentioned. People are dishonest, sleazy, just to name a few, and look out for their own benefit and not the people that they are actually helping. Yeah. So that's where similar to yours, I saw that and I said, well, what if I go in and kind of just change that? All these people have these perceptions of salespeople, of these things that I just mentioned, but let me go ahead and try to change that a little bit and come in with a different attitude and a different goal in mind, and helping people for their own benefit rather than my own.
Yeah.
And I think you recall when I jumped at jumped ships from working for the Forest Service. I did wildland, and I left that. Was living off my credit cards for a little bit. I'm sure you recall those times too, fun times. But I could have easily tried to, gyp somebody or try to be dishonest to try to earn a paycheck so I can pay my credit cards that were just piling up. But I didn't. I think the integrity was more important to me than trying to get myself out of my own situation that I put myself in, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest reason I got in. I saw that people were also saying these things about salespeople and real estate agents and car salespeople and things like that. So I said, let me go in and change the game a little bit.
Make it different.
Make it different, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's important. And you and I have talked about mentors. Like you've had mentors, I've had mentors. And I remember one of my mentors telling me one time, you know what, if you fall in love with your process versus falling in love with the outcome, you'll get your outcome. And I think one thing that you'll learn about us as we work together is that we love our process. We want to make it better for you. And that lesson has never left me, because I think sometimes, and not just in our arena of work, but people are just after the outcome. I want the paycheck. I want the six-pack abs. I want the Bentley.
Yeah.
But to get those things, like if you fall in love with your process, like let's use the six-pack abs. If I fall in love with the process of working out regularly and eating healthier, I will get the six-pack abs, right? And the process, it's more enjoyable because I'm submitting myself to that process and I'm focused on it versus just trying to get like that's why there's so many diet pills out there, right? Because it's like everybody wants the outcome. They don't really want to deal with this process. And that lesson's never left me. Like just fall in love with your process, help people solve their problems. The outcome comes. You don't have to chase the outcome. It'll just come.
I like that.
You know?
Yeah, almost like an artist as well that takes pride in his art piece and his work. Same with you, and I see that in you as well, and myself as well. And in the most humble way, I take pride in my work. Just like if I sit here and I draw an art piece, that's a fun fact about me, by the way. I love art, but I take pride in my work. And I can see that you do the same. So
it's important to us, especially because when it comes to buying a home, selling a home, refinancing a home, it's a big deal, right? It's a really big deal, and it's a big decision. And it's something that you don't do every single day, right? Like we do it every single day, but as a consumer, some people might do it once in their life. Some people might do it 10 times in their life. So we want to make sure that you understand what everything entails. If you're going to do a refinance, what are the pros and cons about that? If you're going to buy this other home, what are the pros and cons about that, right? So having said that, if you've got any questions, as always, give us a call, shoot us a text. We're at your service.
If you have any real estate needs, I'm Alex Mendoza, and you can contact us right here.